If you've been walking 10 to 15,000 steps a day and you're just not seeing progress when it comes to your fat loss goals, in today's video, I want to break down exactly why that's happening, why you probably don't even need to walk that much if you're trying to lose fat, and what to do instead so that you can get the best shape of your life, actually have the right balance in your schedule, and be able to maintain it for potentially forever if you follow the protocols I'm about to lay out. Now, I've been working with guys, specifically guys who have families, demanding careers in their 40s, 50s, heck, even a little older than that. Even guys in their mid 30s who are really entering their crazy busy season. Young kids who take up a lot of your time and a demanding business or career that doesn't allow you to have an enormous amount of free time. And what ends up happening is guys like that, maybe you're in that same boat where you start to research, what do I need to do to get in shape? And one of the first things you're going to discover, especially in the online world, is this whole thing called tracking your steps. Most people out there are going to tell you you need to walk anywhere from 10,000 to 15,000. I even see these crazy guys out there talking about walking 20,000 steps a day in order to burn enough calories to lose fat. And while you might be able to jump into that target range for a period of time, what you'll quickly find is, number one, it can take a lot of time to knock out 15,000 steps a day. And two, all of that movement can be completely erased pretty quickly if we don't have some other things dialed in, which I'm about to explain to you right now. Now, it's no surprise, I am gonna talk about nutrition. That is one of the biggest things that holds guys back. But there are some key things with nutrition that we have to address. But before I do that, and before I lay out what I think is arguably my most important fitness nutrition tips I've ever given, let's just talk about something that's behind me. Yeah, that's the weights back there. Now, weight training has a lot of different viewpoints, and you might have researched weight training that tells you, hey, you need to do circuit training or CrossFit or, lightweight, heavyweight. Doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, there's something to keep in mind with lifting weights. It needs to be in your calendar. You need to train. You need to actually get stronger over the course of time, or at the very least, maintain strength. Because here's the thing, muscle is highly metabolic. It's very metabolically demanding. It requires a lot of calories when you have muscle on your body, more than body fat, that's for sure. And so what you're really doing is you're turning your body into a calorie burning machine, even at rest. Not to mention the repair process that actually takes place, the muscle building process requires calories. So you're missing out on a huge part of the whole body transformation thing if you're not being consistent with your weight training. And not just consistent, not just going to the gym and talking to the guys in the locker room and maybe doing a few curls or a couple sets of bench press and then going home. I'm talking about being purposeful. Now, let's take a moment here to address the elephant in the room. And that is, you don't have a lot of time to train. I totally get that. And maybe you don't feel like going to the gym 5-6 days a week, even if it was only for a 15-20 minute workout. So what I would suggest is carving out 3 key workout times throughout your week. Maybe something like Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, whatever it might be. But these are the key workouts. These are the workouts that, in my mind and yours, should be non-negotiable. These are workouts that you should look at on your calendar and say, these are the points in my week where I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to enter the gym with purpose. I'm going to have a clear training program laid out in advance. This doesn't have to be crazy hardcore, tons of deadlifts, tons of squats. I'm just talking about a very well thought out, simple, safe, and sustainable training program that allows you to progress over time and allows you to hit all your body parts, not just the body parts that you see in the mirror, but your glutes, your lower back, your core, your hamstrings, your upper back, your traps, all the things that are going to turn you into a specimen, a guy who actually looks really good in a shirt and without a shirt on. Which, by the way, if you made it this far in the video, first of all, thanks for watching. I should let you know I have a full-blown ripped body roadmap. It's free, you don't have to pay for it. It actually outlines some of my best and most detailed tips out there for guys over 40 who are sick and tired of self-sabotaging every weekend and starting over every Monday, losing the same 15 to 20 pounds, feeling overweight, feeling out of shape in comparison to their wife, and actually want to be a good role model for their family. And they also want to look good naked, right? At the end of the day, but struggle with sustaining something. This is a roadmap that has helped thousands of guys at this point. Literally well over 20,000 guys have downloaded it and put it into practice. So if you want a free copy, just comment the word ripped below this video and I'll send you a link to get it for free. We talked about weight training, and what I want to lead with here or finish, wrap this up, put a bow on this weight training stuff is how it relates to movement, how it complements each other. So movement is really our daily deposit into the calorie burning machine. We're not gonna burn thousands of calories by walking 15,000 steps a day. You might burn 1,000 total calories by walking 15,000 steps a day, but it is like your proactive activity during the day that burns calories. Weight training is a long-term investment, okay? Not only is it going to help you look better as you lose weight and lose body fat, but it is going to help you sustain a high metabolism as you get older. This is really, really important, all right? Because a lot of guys fail to recognize that by not lifting weights, they are literally depositing fat down the line into their body, okay? They are literally setting themselves up to fail long-term. Even if you hate fitness, okay? Even if you hate the whole weight training process, it's important to have it in your routine. Otherwise, you're just not making that long-term investment that's vital for long-term fat loss success. Now, when I work with guys in our coaching program, which I've been doing now since 2004, started out in the gym, moved to online around 2014, slowly built that up, and now we have a worldwide coaching program that is not just a coaching program, but it's a community, right? It's guys like you and me who have kids, demanding careers, a spouse, who want to go on date nights, want to go on vacation, take their shirt off, feel really good about themselves. One of the first things we do is we gotta dial in the food. This is really where guys who I talk to who are like, man, I'm hitting all these steps. Heck, I'm even working out pretty consistently, but I'm just not seeing the progress. It always, in most cases, boils down to nutrition. Now, before I get into like the boring stuff, which is calories and protein and all that, which you've probably heard a lot if you've been researching this stuff at all, one of the biggest things that guys are doing to sabotage their fat loss is drinking too much alcohol. Now, I'm not telling you to stop drinking alcohol completely. If it is truly something that gives you enjoyment and you're able to do it responsibly, it's not leading to binge eating or binge drinking in some cases, and it's not sabotaging your productivity every day, a little bit of alcohol in your program can be okay. I'm not saying it's ideal. I won't sugarcoat it. Alcohol is probably not the best thing to have in a serious fat loss plan. That being said, I have tons of clients who enjoy a few drinks every week who get in great shape. But we have to know that when we are drinking, we are pausing the fat loss process. Like literally, we're putting it on pause. It's like watching your favorite team, in my case, watching the Chicago Bears on a Sunday, and I'm watching the game and I pause my DVR and I go out, do something, and I open my phone and I'm like, oh, spoiler alert, there's the score. I didn't get to watch the game. Well, yeah, because at the end of the day, you paused the game, and what ultimately happened in the background was things happened, right? Things actually took place. It's not the perfect analogy, but here's what I'm trying to tell you. When you drink alcohol, you're not like free to do whatever you want, okay? You have to know that you're pausing the game. So the big mistake I made in that scenario is I opened my phone and I got the spoiler that I didn't want to see, okay? Here's the thing with alcohol. When we drink, what we normally do with alcohol is we eat, right? We eat too much. So we need to have some rules in place. What I like to say is when we're drinking alcohol, it's a good idea to stick to mostly high protein foods if we can. If we go out and we have this big dinner and a bottle or two of wine, and then we have a couple cocktails or whatever, just know you are adding fat to your body. It may not be an enormous amount. It may not be life-changing amounts, but you're taking a step back. If you're okay with that, then great. We may not make progress step by step by step. We may take a couple steps back here and there, but you need to audit your alcohol intake. If it's more than a few times a week, I would strongly encourage you to cut back on it, okay? The second thing that really blows fat loss for guys and disrupts the whole entire process is snacking. Snacking mindlessly. Here's a perfect example. You get in your car, you're driving home from work, your kid left some kind of salty or some kind of sweet snack in your car. You just grab a handful because why the heck not, right? And you do that every day. You go into the house, there's a cookie. Yeah, just have a little cookie. What's the big deal? Oh, there's a little piece of this, a little grab of that. And all of a sudden you've added 1,000 calories to your week or more in some cases. Some guys are just snacking mindlessly all the time and they're adding a few thousand calories a week. Now, that few thousand calories a week, that was where the deficit was. That's where you created a calorie deficit. You were burning more calories than you were eating, but all that snacking erased all that. So what ends up happening in a lot of cases is you maintain your weight or you slowly gain weight. So instead what we need to do, I'm not telling you to stop snacking completely. Even the guys in our program would tell you they're allowed to snack. By the way, if you want to have my Rip Body Roadmap that outlines exactly how we do all this and make it super lifestyle friendly, just comment the word ripped or heck, check out our coaching program. The link's in the description. but we actually can show you how to snack the right way. Okay, if you're into snacking, if you want to have some grazing throughout the day, it's totally fine to have a snack as long as it's supporting your goals. Perfect example would be like these little Greek yogurt cups that I keep in my fridge. Instead of me going and having a handful of chips or cookies when I'm serious about fat loss, because my kids have some snacks in the house, I might just pull out a Greek yogurt cup, drop a handful of berries in, and instead of having a 500 calorie cup of cookies, now I'm having a 200 calorie Greek yogurt that actually gives me more satiety and actually gives me protein and actually helps me hit my goals. And it's actually a part of my plan instead of it just being this random thing that I do. So let's just kind of wrap all this up with talking about my recommendation for steps and movement, because it is important. What I'd tell you is it's better to be the tortoise than the hare. For me, and what I've experienced with fat loss is, yes, will walking 15,000 steps a day speed up fat loss, assuming your nutrition's dialed in and your weight training is dialed in? Of course it will. You're gonna be burning more calories. But there comes a point where you get a little burned out, and it's hard to hit all those steps day in and day out. Here's what I would suggest. I would look at your calendar and I would take your average step count, maybe it's 8,000 steps a day, and I would make that non-negotiable. Like, hey, I want to absolutely have 8 to 10,000 steps a day because that's what I'm pretty consistent with. Don't really have too much trouble hitting that number. That way we get some consistency into your data and we know, hey, you're going to be burning X amount of calories pretty consistently from here on out. The other thing is, when we look at your calendar, where can we strategically hit a few more steps? For me, that's on the nights that I'm coaching sports. I coach football currently. I coach basketball. I coach baseball. I coach sports. So I'm able to walk around on those nights a lot more because I'm actually at practice, walking around, coaching. So I know those days I'm going to be able to increase my steps just through my lifestyle. I don't have to go out and do more walking. It's just part of my life. You may or may not have those. Maybe you're at your kid's sporting event and you notice like, yeah, I kind of sit around on my phone. I could be walking a little bit during that time. Maybe that's where we strategically increase steps. It's lifestyle friendly. It's not asking you to do a whole lot more than what you are doing. It's just doing things slightly differently during your normal day-to-day stuff. But just know this, if you get your nutrition dialed in, you get your weight training dialed in, you don't have to hit crazy amounts of steps. Let the diet do its thing. Let the weight training do its thing long-term, and just have a consistent 8 to 10,000 steps a day. And I just about guarantee you will get in the best shape of your life if you follow that. Now, if you want our help dialing all of this in for you, telling you exactly what to do, step by step, built specifically for the guy in his 40s or 50s with kids with a busy career who really wants to show up as a leader, as someone who embodies the guy that he tells his kids to be. Schedule a call through our links below. We just do action plan calls to start, to give you a roadmap of where you need to go. After that, if it all makes sense, we'll schedule a second call to talk about working together. At the very least, grab our Rip Body Roadmap. It is the first step in understanding how we personally do this now for the past 20 plus years and have helped 7,500 guys just like you become successful with their fat loss goals. Take a look at that stuff. In the meantime, remember, life moves fast. Make it count. Talk to you in the next one.